Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss another amazing problem from Pathfinder. So this problem is really a good problem, I must say, and I have some doubt in the answer which is given in the question. So if I have done something wrong, please guide me through the comment section, and please do check whether I have done the right analysis of the question. So let us understand what is given in the question. Here it is given that there is a very light cube present on the surface of the water, and initially it is somewhat it is submerged, but very less amount of it is submerged in the water. We will understand that why this is given in the question. So what is happening actually, this is a system, this is a thread which is attached to the cube which is floating on the surface of the water, and here is a piston, and a block of mass m is kept on the piston. So the area of this part is SA and area of this part is SB, and the length of this cube is L. Water filled in it is having the density of rho naught. So what we need to find, we need to find that if we remove the mass m gradually, then what would be the maximum height at which the piston would stop. Okay, so we need to find the height at which the piston would stop. So let us try to solve the question. It's a good question, I must say. So why we should say that the cube is submerged a little bit? Why is that needed? Actually, let us try to understand that. Okay. So for that we need to understand this diagram. Suppose there is some initial height difference and it is submerged inside, but I have not shown it here because it is a very negligible amount. So for this cube we can for this very light cube, we can always write that since the cube is very light, we can always say that the tension force and the buoyant force would always balance each other. Therefore we can say that the mod of Fb minus T is m mass of cube A naught, and this term tends to 0. So we can say that buoyant force is always equal to tension every time for this cube of length L. Okay, so for this cube we can say that the buoyant force would always be equal to the tension. So initially if the block is submerged by a little amount, which is given in the question, it is submerged by little amount, that is the thread is having a finite non-zero tension such that it doesn't slack. Okay, so since the thread doesn't slack, that's why we can say that it is having a finite tension because some part of it is submerged, which is providing dFb, a very small amount of buoyant force, and this is equal to dt. So it is having a finite amount of tension in the string, and the string is not slack. So what is the work of T? Let us understand what is the work of T. See, since the some portion of this would be submerged inside, water level would rise nearby. Water level would rise nearby. Are you able to understand that? Okay, water level would rise nearby. So let us try to understand this analysis by using some important diagrams. So here, if I have been given a simple system, suppose that I have been given a simple system like this, and here is a piston. Here is a piston of mass m. If mass m is kept, and here is the water level. Suppose there is some initial height difference. Let us say that this is delta H. So here we can write that the pressure at all the level on this line, we can write the pressure as P naught plus rho g delta H. That means a pressure force of P naught plus rho g delta H would be acting on this piston, and a force of mg would be acting downwards. Okay, so here we can say that rho g delta H is equal to mg. That's why suppose that this is happening, so we will have find the value of delta H similarly. This is the pressure, and then we would multiply it by the area so that we can equate to find the value of delta H. But wait a minute, can we say that delta H would be 0? The difference between the difference between the water level and the piston must be 0 at some time. When it would happen, when this mg would tend to 0, we can say that the water would pressurize it upwards, and after some time they would come at an intermediate equilibrium level. they would come at an intermediate equilibrium level. Okay, so here we can say that the delta H would become 0 if there is no anything that that can increase the level of water always. So to maintain a constant height difference, to maintain a small height difference, we will be using a thread which is attached to a buoyant block. Uh, 1 minute. Suppose we have a system in which the system which is given upwards. So here we can say that this is the piston, and here it is attached to the block. Okay. So let us say that when the mass would be completely removed, there would be a level. Uh, Now we, if suppose if this was not there, the level of the piston would be equal to the level of water, some intermediate level. Let us say that this is at a height. Suppose H intermediate, HIN. Let me write it as HIN. But because there is a buoyant block, it would displace some amount of water, and always a level of water, a difference of level would always be there, which is delta H. So what is the work of this tension and buoyant force? We can say the tension or the buoyant force tries to maintain the level, to maintain the difference in height, and that difference in height would always maintain a pressure difference, and we would equate this pressure difference, the pressure which is here. Now here we can say that is rho g delta H, and the pressure which is here, which is due to the tension force, would be equal. Okay, so the pressure due to the tension force and this pressure, which is rho g delta H into A, would always be equal. So what is the work of tension? I hope you understood that the work of tension is to always maintain a minor height difference between the block and the uh, water level in the arm B, and the water level in the arm, and the piston in the arm A. So I hope you understood the purpose of the buoyant block and thread. So let us understand that. Let us understand the analysis now. So here we already discussed about the system. Now here we can say that the initial height difference which is there would be due to the uh, so pressure on piston A, we could write it as rho naught GH initial, and from this equation we can say that the initial height difference between them is m by rho naught A, and this is the approximate height difference because some part of the cube would be inside, very little part, so it would give some delta H, this H initial plus some amount of DH. Since H plus H initial plus DH would be approximately H initial, would be approximately equal to H initial, so we are approximating it. Okay, I already discussed that why this small amount of cube is inside initially to maintain the tension. Okay, so now let us understand this important analysis. So here we can say that the T ensures that there is always a height difference maintained between the block and the piston. So the what it always ensures that it is a height difference between it. So we already discussed that there will be always a height difference of delta H between the water level, and the piston level. We already discussed that. So let that be delta H. So there would be always a force which would be acting on it. Okay, so it would be rho g delta H into SA kmg. Why I wrote kmg? Because since we will be removing the mass gradually or slowly, we will say that some fraction of mass would get would decrease. So here k is less than 1 because it would be fractional type of, and k is tending to 0. So k is decreasing and kmg is type of mass which is present here. So here we can say that Fk. So here for the equilibrium of the block, we can say a function of k is equal to T and a function of delta H. So as k varies, delta H could also vary. So Fk is kmg, and F delta H, which is the function of delta H, could be written as rho naught g delta H into Sa. Okay, so this is the this is the equation at any time. At any time we can say this equation is valid. Okay, so we already discussed that the FB would always be equal to T. Now let us just discuss the most important part of the problem, which is the height diagram. So this is the height diagram of the cube. So here we can say that suppose the mass is kmg at some instant. At some instant the mass is kmg and it is decreased. Therefore the piston would move upward. Since the downward force of mg has decreased to kmg. the upward force would increase, and this would lead to a height rise in the block. So here we can say that this height rise is equal to h naught. Let us say that this height rise is h naught, and since this block and this cube is joined by a thread, it would also go down by a height of h naught. Okay, so let me tell you something very important. This yellow line, this hard yellow line, could be written is the representation of the initial level of the water, the initial diagram of the system, you can understand that. And then finally, suppose this is showing the base of the cube, and this dash yellow line is showing the base of the cube afterwards, and this white dash line is showing the rise in the level of water, rise in the level of water. So let us denote it by h dash, and let us denote this is h naught. And the difference between the piston and the water level, since this is the rise of the water level, we always find the difference between the water and the piston. So here we can write it as delta h. Now delta h would be equal to what? H initial. From the diagram we can say that this is h initial, the base of the cube, solid yellow line, and the h initial could be written like that, and h initial minus h naught would be this distance, and plus h dash would give us the value of delta h. So delta h would be equal to h initial minus h naught plus h dash. Okay, we can write that. Now come to the next part of the problem. So here k is less than 1. So seeing the piston, okay, see this cube. This cube has already submerged. This is the submerged level of the cube, and let us say this is submerged by a amount of h naught. So it would displace a value, it would displace an amount of liquid. This liquid can be written as SB minus L square. See why I am writing SB minus L square? See the top view of the system. The volume that has increased would be in this portion. It could be written as SB minus L square into h dash. H dash is the height, the increase in the height of the water, and we already told that the buoyant force or the tension force ensures that there always a height difference between the level of the water and the other things. So here we can say that volume displaced by the cube. Now what is the volume displaced by the cube? These two volumes should equate each other. So L square h naught is the volume which is displaced by the cube. Why? The base area was L square. And it depressed by an amount of h naught. So it equivalently displaced an amount of volume which is L square h naught, and this L square h naught gave rise to volume in the section. Excepting this section, we in all the sections, that is SP minus L square, it gave a rise to h dash. So this is h dash. Now here equating these two volumes, we can say h dash would be equal to L square h naught into SB minus L square. Now finding the value, now we will find the value of delta h, which is very important to us. Now here delta h could be written as h initial plus h dash minus h naught. That was the equation, you must remember it. And here this is the value of h dash minus h naught, and this is the value of delta h, which is h initial m by rho SA rho naught plus 2L square. Now adding these, we would get the value of delta h. So suppose this diagram I again copied it. So diagram at any time t. Suppose finally it goes to some it rises to a value h max. It rises to a value h max, and there is a small difference. H naught is equal to h max at that time. Here the weight is 0. Okay, now here k is equal to 0. So mg already disappeared. So at that time, let the h naught equal to h max, and delta h at that time would be delta ht, and there would be a finite separation. Why there would be a finite separation? Because of the tension. I already discussed that why there would be a finite separation. Because of the tension, there would always be a finite separation. Now if the tension and if the cube and the thread were not present, then we can say that yes, now the water level of the piston and the water level of the in the arm B would always be equal, and this height difference is very minute, I must say. Okay, so here at this time h naught would be tending to h max, And now the delta ht, here we would be replacing h naught with h max, and we will find the value of delta ht. So this is the function type of thing. Okay, now at this time we can say, that acha, okay, and at any time we will say the equilibrium equation of this would be equal to mg. Now there would be no motion in the system, so here we can say, from the force balance equation we can say that fb, the buoyant force on the cube, which is equal to the tension, the buoyant force on the cube, using this we have written it here, rho g delta h into t, and this is the pressure, we have equated the pressure in the equation, and the mg would be 0 at that time. So here I have written the equation fb by sa cube is equal to rho naught l square h max by g. Now what is the amount of volume which is displaced by the cube at that time when h naught is equal to h max? Let me write it from here, the diagram, where it come on. Okay, from here we can say that when it would be h max, the amount of water which would be displaced, suppose this is h max, so here we can say the buoyant force acting on this body would be rho naught l square h max, and this would be equal to the okay, now this is the rho naught l square h max is the and g, this would be the value of the buoyant force, and this would equate the tension, so tension would be rho naught l square h max into g. So here we can say that rho naught l square h max into g, so this is the amount of mass of water displaced, density into volume. So density into volume, l square h max, this is the mass m, density into volume, and then we multiply it by g. Okay, so here from here we can say, from this equation we can say that rho naught g would get cancelled, and l square h max by sa would be equal to delta h. Now I think don't think any term is missing here. Okay, no term is missing, so rho naught g would be cancelled, and equating these terms we will say that h max is equal to m into sb minus l square plus 2l square minus sb into sa rho naught, and rho naught h max l square. Now putting the h max term together we will get the value of height, that I am getting this value of height but it's not matching with the answer given in the book. So if I have done anything wrong or any wrong analysis have been done, please do comment in the comment box. So thank you for watching the video.